Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Mohammad Asim. I'm working as DevOps engineer. Today I'm going to show you how you can set up AWS client VPN through the Terraform. Although I've already created a video in past with regard to the AWS client VPN, but there are few options changed. So I decided to make another video and also decided to automate this video or this deployment as much as I can. So let's begin. This is my Terraform code, and we are going to automate through the Terraform code. And what we are going to do first, deploy our VPC, and this is, let me show you the code as well. This is our VPC. So I'm not gonna use the Terraform apply command straight away. So I'm going to tell you the reason for that as well. Because I've not really totally automated this. I need a value of private subnet for this demo. Uh, First of all, that's why I'm going to deploy Terraform, apply dash target, and you can use single module as well for the deployment as well. Target dot module dot VPC, and uh, this will set up our VPC in the US Virginia region. And for the sake of demo, let me show you that I have one VPC in my Virginia region, and it is asking to uh, say yes, and I'm going to deploy this VPC in my Virginia region. So this is the first part. We need a VPC, and for client VPN, let me navigate to the different section. Okay, so I'm going to show you how you can authenticate with multiple user using the AWS Simple AD. So for that, I've also set up a code. You can use this code to set up a Simple AD, or you can create manually. It is totally up to you guys, or you can use the existing VPC and set up your client VPN. So now what I'm going to do, let's deploy this VPC, and in this particular VPC, I'm going to create a simple AD. Let me show you the VPC part, and also I'm going to show you the excuse me. I'm going to show you the simple AD part as well. So this is our target VPC. Let me just select this particular VPC. So this is the side range of this VPC, and we have definitely deployed such subnets automatically in this VPC. And now also I need to show you the AD which we are going to create in the AWS US East 1 region. Currently there is no AD, so Active Directory. So I'm also going to deploy this module by this previous command. So let it deploy, and then I'm going to go to the next step. So after the simple AD, we will be deploying our AWS client VPN. So I highly recommend to use the AWS AD, because it is easier to manage because of multiple user. It is not easy to manage, with search. So if you have 10 or 100 of users, so AWS Active Directory is the best solution, and Simple AD is really cost effective. So you can set up the AWS Simple AD for the client authentication. So hopefully this part is done. Um, we are going to set up the AWS Simple AD in the private subnet to give it more security. Internet is definitely going to be available because there is a net gateway, and I'm going to use the same command, and this time I'm going to simply paste this module name, and this will create the AWS Simple AD in our US East region. Definitely creating simple AD or standard AD, standard enterprise AD took about 10 to 15 minutes. So that's why uh, I decided to deploy this, first. So and then I will go to the next part of our theory section. Little bit of theory with regard to the AWS client VPN is required because a lot of questions are coming from you guys that how we can use the internet while connecting to the AWS client VPN. So while it is deploying, let me go to some theory part as well. So in AWS client section, I've created this excuse me, AWS client VPN theory and simple AD. So AWS client VPN theory. Let me go to these quickly. AWS client we are deploying through the Terraform, and we are going to uh, set up for the multiple user management. As I told you, highly recommended is the AWS AD. Through Terraform, we are going to create simple AD as we are currently doing it. So this is the first part, and next part is going to be the creation of users in the simple AD. And as far as the theory of AWS client VPN is, it is highly scalable service and it supports AD and both certs. Authentication supports tunneling. What is split tunneling? Split tunneling mean that let's say if you have AWS bound traffic, like if you wanna access the EC2 instance through SSH, it is going to be through the VPN. And if you wanna, let's say, open the Google website or chaklanmushtaq.com from your browser, it is not going to be through VPN. This is the totally optional option, but I used it because uh, for let's say if you're using VPN from your personal laptop, uh, and definitely don't want to use the internet of that particular VPN. So instead of using that internet, you're using your own internet, and uh, this traffic is not encrypted. Is not going to be encrypted, and um, the traffic, like if we try to access the EC2 instance, that traffic is going to be encrypted. So anyway, this part is with regard to the split tunneling, and okay, the fifth one is admin can control have over the connection. Let's say you can delete the connection or terminate the connection through uh, AWS CLI or from the AWS console. And the advantage of Simple AD, they told you that it is quite easier to manage, and you can simply delete the user from the Simple AD, and that's it for that particular user. That user will not be able to access if he's if he leaves the organization, or is you're not allowed to that particular VPN access. So uh, this part is done. So also I need to tell you that there are limitations with regard to the AWS client VPN. For instance, the side range must not be same or should not be overlapping, which means, let's say example, this is the VPC, this is the VPC 10.2 range, and this is the client side range. Uh, Client side range means the internal cider which is going to be used by the AWS client VPN. So it is not your, do not consider this your home laptop or network region. I will show you that it is the internal network which is going to be used by the AWS client VPN. So this is what we are talking about. Let's say my home Side range is 192.168 dot something, so it has nothing to do with my home range. So it is the internal range of the client VPN. So it should not be same. So how you can make this in OK state that let's say your VPC is 10.2 and your client is 10.8, that would be fine. Side range, so it's not overlapping. So AWS, okay, VPN endpoint and associated VPC must be in the same AWS account. Also, the associated subnets must be in the same VPC, and there is going to be only one subnet per AZ, which is going to be allocated. And other thing I need to tell you that IP version 4 is supported only, and the client VPN is currently not HIPAA compliant. In future, it is not a strict rule that let's say I'm creating a video in today that in today's date, so it's not HIPAA compliant. So maybe in future, it is HIPAA compliant. Um, so in today's date, it is not HIPAA compliant. So you can use VPC peering if you want to, access the other VPCs. So this part is done as far as the theory is concerned. Our AD, let me close this as well. Let me refresh it. Our simple AD is deployed and it is active. I'm calling this core.seclanmustak.com and I'm using the private subnets. So what I'm gonna do now, I need the private subnets ID. Okay, let's say I'm going to select this one. You can use multiple private subnets. Let me show you just a minute. So uh, where our code, this is our code. So as I told you, in this subnet ID, I'm going to provide this subnet ID and let it deploy first. Then I will go to the console and show you, because most of the user are not feel comfortable with the AWS CLI. And before that, this is also the very important part, the root certificate or chain. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to first remove this existing one. I will also definitely provide you the script for this, and also in past I've provided you the script. So the same script is going to be used, and simply what I'm gonna do. Okay, let me open the script as well in the code editor. Let me show you the script. Uh, this is the same script, but I have done little more automation here. You have to define your AWS region, and it is going to be automatically uploaded into your AWS region. So this is the domain name. This is the relevant stuff you need to provide if you want to edit. So that's it. So this uh, automation is in a way that this script is going to be automatically uploaded into your AWS account. Make sure you should provide your AWS access key and secret access key. So this will gonna automatically upload it in the AWS. So let's call this TLS shell, and I'm going to use the insert command. I'm going to put this made this script executable chmod plus x, okay, and run it. So what this script will do, this will take a little while, but after this script end, you see this script is gonna give you the ARN. And if I navigate to the ACM section, so in past you have to upload manually script to the ACM. Now if you run this script, you see this script is automatically uploaded and issued. Uh, so this the automation I've done also a little more for you guys. So there's no need to do manual stuff. So this part is done, and let me show you. This is the same ARN. Let's say 11A or 0 is the. Let me navigate to the one-two machine. This is the same ARN. So simply I'm going to copy this ARN from here, or either you can copy from the console. So excuse me. So this is the shell part, guys. So simply I'm going to paste it here. This is the ARN of that particular server certificate ARN, and I'm going to paste it here as well. So now I'm going to simply copy this module name, and I'm going to just remove this part, and I'm going to paste it here. So this will deploy the Terraform, sorry, AWS client VPN through the Terraform. So this will take a while, and you see it is deploying. So I have to say yes as well. So I should navigate to my uh, VPC section. Okay, and here you will see the client endpoint. There is no need to use, I mean, if you're not comfortable with the AWS CLI to use the Terraform, you can use the manual stuff. The point here is to show you guys how you can use the simple AD for multiple user authentication. So this is the site to set, sorry, um, client VPN. Okay, this is the client VPN point. So let me refresh it. Thing goes fine. So okay, this gives me an error, says the client log group not found. Okay, okay. So for that, let me also show you guys that log group. Okay, I've, I forget to simply create the log group. I in fact copy paste it here, and the log group I'm going to be also look to create, instead of creating a module for that. I'm going to create this particular log group. Okay, in fact now I can use, instead of using this command, I'm going to use this command. So what it is going to do, as we have provided the values of values as we have excuse me, as we have provided the values relevant to the private subnet, and that's what required. So I'm going to use the Terraform apply command. So what it is going to do, it is going to create that particular log group. As I've enabled the log group, let me navigate to the log group section. If you navigate to the Cloud Watch section and navigate to the log groups, okay, this is the log group I am creating through the Terraform, and this is the log group stream I'm creating. So logs from the AWS client VPN are going to be in that particular um, okay, what is saying, and go to that particular log stream. So mm, mhm. invalid, invalid parameter, okay. Guys, I'm going to pause the video and we'll be back with you in a short while. So guys, I've fixed the error hopefully, as we are not going to use the network association, which I'm going to show you manually, because there are a lot of steps needs to be done with relevant to that particular automation. So I've decided to remove that. So I'm going to show you what I've done. So as I told you that it is going to create a client VPN, and as we already set up the CloudWatch log stream through our AWS Terraform code, and you can follow the same step. So if I navigate to my, you see this section, what I've done that I've just removed the network association, because as I told you that it will take a time to put extra code in that. So instead of doing that, as I have to show you guys uh, how you can set up the rest of the stuff. So as I told you that in theory this split tunnel is enabled. I like to have my browsing separate from my AWS uh, traffic. So that is the way you can enable this. You can use the internet as well through this. So let me navigate to the AWS sorry, association tab, and I'm going to tell you what these steps are going to do. This is the target VPC, and from this I'm going to select my two private subnets. So this is the private subnet 1C 64. Okay, C64. C64. This is the subnet I'm going to associate, and I'm going to associate one more subnet. So this is the private subnet 1, and I want to associate one more subnet, private subnet. Also see that this is the private subnet 2, and the ID is 3EA. 3EA. This is the one. So I'm going to associate these two private subnets with my VPC, and shortly in a while you will see this pending excuse me status is going to be changed from associate. So this will take a while. You see directory is automatically attached. Let me check the ID of the particular directory. Is it correct, or because I'm giving the module, so make sure that the ID of the directory is C42. C42, yeah. This is the one which we are going to use for our authentication, and as I told you, our certs are already updated, and this is the DNS name of our uh, client VPN, which we are going to access. So refresh it. This will take a little while, and if I navigate to the security group, there is going to be two association. The advantage of the security group is that you can reference these security group in particular is specific easy tools where you want to uh, put the security group as a reference. So those, for instance, if you want SSH to a particular EC2 instance, are those two instances are only going to be accessed through the client VPN. So this is the advantage of this security group. So authorization rule, ingress rules are that, let's say you have multiple VPCs in your account or in your region. So here you can add multiple authorization rules. Let's say I have a VPC with 20 to 20. cider range, and other is which is dev VPC, and the other VPC is prod VPC, which is 30.30 slash 16 range. So here you can give the authorization rules, and for the authorization rules, you need to also create routes for those rules. So same authorization cider range are going to be defined in routes. So by default, this VPC private subnets UC uh, ranges are available. So I don't have to create a separate route for those. It is going to be automatically created. So for as I told you, for if you want to use additional VPCs, so you need to have those routes. So let this part done, and till then I'm going to launch one EC2 instance, which is the requirement to set up your directory. Let me navigate to the For management of your directory services, I highly recommend to use the you should you use the DSCP option set as well. So what is that? Let me show you that. So okay, this is your DNS name. Copy this. Go navigate to the VPC section. Okay. So if I navigate to my VPC section, I have two VPCs. So this is the VPC. If you uh, click this button action, you see there is the DHCP option set. So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to edit this DHCP option set. Okay, so let's say currently it is using the default one. So let's say I'm going to say that it is not going to use any DHCP. So DHCP option set is nil. So what I'm gonna do, if I navigate to DHCP option set, okay. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna create DHCP option. So I'm going to create DHCP option set. I'm going to call this the same one, coop.seclanmustack.com, my domain name. And same I'm going to copy here the DNS name servers. So these are the IP addresses. Simply copy these and paste it here. Simply press Control V for NTP network time protocol. And NetBIOS servers are the same. So NetBIOS node these are the uh, type is set to 2 because these are two EC2 nodes which are going to be set up at backend. So that's all from this side. You can set this DSCP option set. I'm going to create this one. So what I'm gonna do, navigate to my target VPC. Um, I did the DHCP option set. Currently is no DHCP option set. So I'm going to set this one. Why I'm using the DHCP option set? And the benefit of this is that let's say if you launch EC2 instance, so that particular EC2 instance will be able to have or able to detect your AWS AD. So let me run one EC2 instance. I'm going to select Windows base image. So let's call it to medium. You can have always option to set up. Uh, Let me show you the domain join role, but I'm not gonna do that. You can create that. So I will also show you that what role is going to be look like. So I'm going to definitely use the private subnet for that because I have to use the RDP for this. So and what policies are in the role, but we have set up the domain and DSCP option set. So without even using this domain join role, uh, I can you can use this one or you have to attach one, but I'm going to add the storage. Okay, okay, the storage is fine. I'm going to say RDP is going to be allowed from my IP, let's say AD admin. Download this key pair and I'm going to launch an Ec2 instance. So this part is done as far as the downloading is concerned. So if I refresh or navigate to my Ec2 instance, it is launching. If you go back to your client VPN section, refresh it, so it is now available. Okay, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna download the configuration of this. Okay, this configuration is downloaded. I'm going to put it here and open this in any editor of your. You can use any editor of your choice. So what I'm gonna do, let it open with the Visual Studio VS Code. So this is the endpoint we have seen. So in the endpoint, it is showing start dot something. So we can use any random string, or it is not must. You can still use this one. But I'm going to provide this one and this random string. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a cert and I'm going to close this. Similarly, I'm going to create key and also I'm going to close this. So simply what you need to do is to put the cert. If you navigate to the your cert creation, so if I do ls, navigate to TLS directory and get out the contents of your cert. So this is our CRT cert. Simply copy this and get the contents of this. Copy this certificate and put it in the search section. Okay, so that's fine. So this part is done. Or and okay, navigate to also provide the key. Key is this one. Secretariamushtaq.com dot key is your shared key. Simply copy this, paste it, and just scroll up a bit. So copy this, and this is the one which we need, and put it in your uh, editor. Okay, so this part is done. So you can give this any name. Let's call this Saklan, saklanmushtaq.com. So okay, now what we have to do, uh, go for the Ec2 instance, see whether it is launched or not. Try to RDP into that particular Ec2 instance. So this is almost launching. I'm going to get the password of this EC2 instance, provide the key, decrypt it, and I'm going to use the RDP from my local machine, and I'm going to give the IP address of this particular machine, which is launched in the public section, and let me put the put the password here. So also this is the IP address. I'm going to provide the IP address, and this is gonna ask me for the admin credential. So guys, if I attach the role, I can straight away use the AD, but now I have to give this EC2 instance. So administrator, TRATOR, administrator. So currently this EC2 instance is not main joined. Uh, okay, so let it connect. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna copy this name corp.supplyandmushtaq.com and try to ping our AD. So with regard to that, we have done our uh, setting with which is of DHCP option set. So what I'm gonna do, open PowerShell or command prompt. First of all, I need to check that there should be a communication between that and domain resolution is there. See, we are able to resolve the name. Okay, so what we are going to do, click on this shortcut, right click on this VPC section, and manually join the domain. So if I go to, let me show you that as well. So currently this is not a domain join. If I change the settings of this domain join and change the settings and click the domain, put the DNS name of this particular domain. So it will gonna, you see, prompt for the username and the password. By default, let me tell you guys, the username is admin, not administrator. Admin, and the password I've set for this is if I navigate to to my code. The password I've set is this Saklan Mustaf dash. So this is the password. So username is admin, and this is the okay, so this is the way to manually join the domain. Hopefully we're able to access it, but there is an error. Okay, attempt to join. Okay, the password name. Let me also confirm the password. It might not be the same. Okay, let's try. If you're unable to um, or unable to use the password, so simply go to the reset user. Username is going to be the admin. Okay, okay. I might be wrong. I have to give this user administrator. Administrator. Forget many things because working as you see is successfully domain join. So this is the way to manually join the uh, AD. So apologies for that side. I mean, I thought there is a admin user, so no need for resetting. The password was actually correct. So administrator was the user. So this particular EC2 instance is now domain joined. Now I'm going to again RDP into that particular machine. So if I navigate to my machine, so this is my NetBIOS name. So simply copy this, let it come. Okay, and I guess now I have to call. And the password is going to be the one. Okay, administrator. So guys, I'm successfully logged in with the uh, admin of that particular domain. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna create few users in that. So those user will be authenticated via my Active Directory. So okay, so you see the IP address is 10.11. If I navigate to see 10.11 and 289, sorry, 2.89. So let me show you the shortcut, because these things you need to be really sure that you should be able to Uh, your residency should be domain join. You see, your domain is corp.saklanmushtaq.com. So uh, that's that's we want. So if I navigate to uh, I'm logged in as a domain user. If I navigate to uh, Windows and installation, and if I then navigate to the, or I have to install some rules. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna show you guys simply navigate to this section, click the server manager, and in server manager I've set up in my learning section, go to the simple AD. You have to install these roles. So these are in the features section. So uh, sorry, manage, add roles and features. Let it populate it. Okay, go to the next section. This is the domain. Okay, so skip this. Go to the features and go to the roles administrator tool. Navigate to the remote administration tool. Okay, select this one, and also I like you guys to select the group policies as well. So if you want to use groups, so group policy management. So these two units restart the destination server if it is the requirement. So simply install these, let these install. So currently it is installing. Guys, this video is extended because I have to show you every single bit, so you have no doubt with regard to the creations of multiple user, and those users are going to be authenticated through AWS client VPN. So this part is definitely a bit lengthy because you have to add user, you have to create domain, and you have to, I mean, either it's a local or public domain. So this EC2 instance need to configure that particular domain, and users should be in that particular domain which are going to access the AWS client VPN. So seems like installation is successful. Uh, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna navigate back to that section again and go to the Windows administration. And now I'm going to see, Users and management. There is a group policy management and type users, Active Directory users and computers. Okay, this is our domain, and navigate to the users section. Okay, so here I'm going to create a few users, or you can set up multiple groups for OUs, but I'm going to create one user. Uh, the name is going to be Nasim. Okay, user login name is going to be Asim, and next, and do not select this for one user password. I'm going to say never expire. I'm going to give my username. Let's use a password. So currently, I'm going to create one user. I guess this is going to be enough, or we can create multiple users and group here. So okay, now what I'm gonna do, uh, I'm gonna open this client, open VPN GUI, and try to access my. I'm going to import this into my OpenVPN, import this file, navigate to desktop, saklanmushtaq.com.ovpn and try to connect. So it is gonna prompt me for the username and password, and the username I've selected, given this, and let it give the password. So guys, you see I'm successfully connected with saklanmushtaq.com. So let me check my internet as well. Okay, so this is the way you can use the. You see, my internet is connected, but it is not using the um, AWS client VPN. So it is using my local internet. So that's why what I like to do uh, while connecting my VPN. So this is the split tunnel option is enabled, and let me show you that now I'm connected. Can I able to ping the IP address of this particular machine? See, this machine has the public IP, but this machine is also a private IP. It is in the private subnet. So this will enable me to, okay, ICMP packets are not allowed. So make sure that you should be able to allow the security group. Let's say for the sake of this demo, I'm going to edit this rule, and I'm going to create one rule. Let's say I'm gonna For the granularity, I can use the AWS Client VPN security group. So that this particular EC2 instance is going to be only accessible through while connecting through the VPN and from the security group. But I wanna, for the sake of this demo, as video is already quite uh, lengthy, I'm going to give this whole range 10.11. Okay, even I'm tired really to uh, explain you guys in such a detail. So, as lot of requests are coming that they are not able to, some people are not able to access the internet, and some people are looking for, 10 or 20, I guess, for adding multiple users. So I'm going to save the rule. Let me check where is the same. Uh, Sorry, 10.11. I need to provide 10.11 is going to be the CIDR range. So save the rule and the IP address of this particular machine is 10.11 something, and let's try to ping it now. So I'm still not able to ping it. Okay, I have to check and I will be back in a moment. So guys, I forgot to tell you that even I forget that I have to allow the ingress authorization in the ingress. For instance, you see what I've done here. I've created one authorization rule, and I'm allowing all traffic for my VPC side range. So you see, it is now active, and the description is I gave is that allow all VPN traffic to this particular side range. You can add further rule and enter cited ranges as I've told you in the start of the video with relevant to your VPC cited ranges. So let me try to access the machine. I've set up two machine here, and let it first ping those machine. I'm going to open my bash, and I'm going to try to ping the private IP of this particular machine. So just a minute. Let me see if I connected or not. As I've authorized the role, might be some disconnectivity from my internet. I'm going to ping the IP address of this machine. So you see, I have network connectivity. So I might be not allowing the ping on that admin. So instead of that, let me try to RDP into this particular machine. So guys, you see, I'm able to successfully administrator. This machine is domain joined as I've shown you all the steps. So the password is the one which I've already showed you. This is the password I'm giving it. So also let me check the security group section of this. See, I'm able to successfully able to access the private IP address of this particular machine. and I'm logged in through the VPN. So need to check that. Okay, all is about try ping as well. So ping to Linux machine is working fine. Might be there is inside firewall which might not be allowing, but usually it won't happen. Anyway, this is the way you can might be I have to allow inside from the firewall as well. This is the way you can set up your AWS client VPN and use multiple users into that particular machine. So hopefully you like this video, and if you like this, please like, share, and subscribe. And you can use as many user as you want into that particular machine. So thank you guys. Have a nice day.